G'day everyone, it's Alan here from FishingMad, and the new Penn Slammer 4 reels are here. Now the Slammer series has been a very popular choice for many years for both inshore and offshore fishing. It's really that combination of durability, good performance and affordability. Now in this video we are going to unbox this new reel and we're going to have a real deep dive look at its new features and specifications. Now I've also got the older generation range of slammers here, and we're going to take a trip down memory lane just to run through the evolution of this series as we've gotten to this point, just to see the new features and how it stacks up against the new Slammer 4. And you know what? Let's get started right now. Okay, so that is a sneak peek at the Slammer 4. Now before we get into a deep dive of its specifications and features, I reckon it's really good that we take a trip down memory lane and have a real look at the previous generation models to really show the evolution of that reel series. So this here is the original Penn Slammer. Now this has been around for many years. Now Penn saw an opportunity back at that time to design a fishing reel that had a drag system and a spool that was designed for lines that don't stretch. And that was around the time that braided lines started to become very popular. So the reel had full metal construction all the way around, and it came out in 5 different sizes. You had the 260, the 360, the 460, the 560, which I've got here, which I use for things like targeting snapper, and there was also a bigger 760. Now it came with 5+1 bearings and had a HT 100 drag washer system. So this reel for its time was actually pretty good. And obviously in today's age we have much lighter reels, we've got much bigger drag capacities, but this really fit a purpose back then, and that was to have a reel that worked really well with braided lines. And because of that, there was a really healthy take up from charter operators, from recreational anglers, and it was a really nice durable reel that had all the basics done really well. And to the side of that, Penn also had the Slammer live liner. And I guess a lot of guys locally would know a live liner more as a bait runner. So obviously you've got this here so you can set the reel into free spool mode. And that means when a fish runs with the bait, they're gonna feel zero resistance. And then obviously as soon as you start reeling in, that clicks over and your drag tension is set. And that drag tension is really set by this knob here. So the only other differences was this came in 2 sizes, which was the 560 size and the 760 size, and this also had 1 additional bearing, so 6+1. But again, cosmetically and feature wise, very similar to the original Slammer, but just with some extra features. Okay, so that's the original and the live liner. and then came the Slammer 3. So if we put that to the side, and this was the Slammer 3, and this was released in 2016, and this had a whole range of new features and specifications that made it one of the most popular reel choices in that saltwater inshore offshore fishing since its time. So over the last 5 years, a complete cosmetic rehaul, new colors. You've got these big flashy handles that really encourage you to have that feeling to want to crank in a big fish. Now it had full metal side plates, full metal body, full metal rotor, and it came in 10 sizes from 3,500 all the way through to 10,500. There were also 2 high-speed models, which included the 6500 HS and the 8500 HS. The Slammer 3 got a slight upgrade in bearings, moving up to 7+1, and they also introduced the Dura drag system, which is a concept that Penn had in their big game fishing reels, introducing all of those durability and water resistant technology into the Slammer spin reel series. So these reels are IPX6 water certified. They have machine cut brass gears and really strong. The drag capacities on these things are very impressive. In fact, the smaller one in the range, which is the 3,500, has a whopping 15 kilo drag capacity, which is really impressive. Now this is the Slammer 3 6500, which I've had now for about 4 years, and I have caught countless snapper and gummy sharks. I've even had a run at kingfish and that with this reel, and it has stood up really well. It gets beaten around and it's really durable. Great drag system, and these reels have been really good value for money. So that now takes us to the Slammer 4, and let's get that out and have a look at its details. The Slammer 4, and on first look it does look quite impressive. So I picked this up for just over $400 online, and I specifically went out and bought the 6500 size. So for my local waters, that's going to be awesome for targeting fish like snapper, gummy shark and kingfish. That's going to be a really good versatile saltwater reel. Now I do have the Slammer 3 here, and I thought this would be a great way to show some differences between the Slammer 3 that most people are used to and the new model. So what I will say is basically what Penn have done is they've taken most of the really good features that we like about the Slammer 3 and put it into the Slammer 4, but also listened to some really welcome feedback and made some really nice changes. So I'm going to run through those changes with you right now. So the first thing that they've done is they've redesigned the rotor, which has made the range lighter and also smoother. So you can see if you put them up side by side together, it's not a huge change when you look at it visually, but it does make quite a substantial difference. The other thing that they've done, which is probably a lot of feedback that's come through, is the drag system. And what they've done is they've completely redesigned the drag, not so much for the maximum drag setting, that's pretty similar between the two reels, but for the light drag setting. So what I'm talking about is when you really back that drag off, you now are going to find that you're going to get no resistance with these new slammers. So you can see that drag has been backed right off, and you can just spin that around. So that's going to be really awesome if you are fishing with live bait, or if you are fishing with big baits and you want fish to run without feeling any resistance. Now if you do that on the Slammer 3, so if you back that drag right off, you'll find it's just still not as smooth. You still just get that resistance. So that is a nice welcome change. The other things that they've done is they have expanded the range. So they've gone from 10 available sizes in the Slammer 3, they've now got 12 available sizes in the Slammer 4. So what they've done is they've introduced a 2500 size to give consumers all of that heavy duty waterproofing and durability into such a small size reel, which is really cool. There's also 3 high speed options. You've got the 2500 HS, the 4500 HS and the 6500 HS. They've also added 1 extra ball bearing, taking the whole reel series up to 8+1 across every reel in the range of Slammer 4s. Now, the Slammer 3 was pretty durable, and it was really built to handle those tough saltwater conditions. It was IP6 certified, and honestly, these things have been pretty rugged and bulletproof. But Penn have made them even better this time around, And what they've done is they've added extra seals under the rotor here to make them extra waterproof. There's also extra chambers inside the reel, again, which stops the water from moving around and getting inside into those critical components. So hopefully over time, these are really going to stand up to the test of salt water. The Slammer 4s have all brass CNC gears and stainless steel bearings. Penn have made these reels lighter, which is pretty impressive when you consider that the body, rotor and side plates are all made from metal construction. The revamped Dura drag system lets less water into the reel whilst improving the amount of usable drag capacity, and the new hydrophobic line roller bearing prevents even further saltwater damage. So in theory, these reels will last longer and feel smoother. And now I'm going to run through a handful of close-ups at different angles of each different model to really compare the difference. Cosmetically, you will notice a lot of similarities between the Slammer models. Penn sticking with that gold and black color scheme, retaining the power knob, and obviously the sizings and features do look quite similar. Yet when you've got the reel in your hand, it does somehow feel refreshed and refined. So the other change in this reel series is the DX models. And what that basically is like these new Slammer 4s, but a little bit of a step up. They've got a new color scheme in that nice silver color range, and they've also incorporated stainless steel gears. And you're going to find they're going to be at a little bit of a higher price point. Not sure yet whether we'll see those in Australia. I'm waiting on some feedback on that, and we'll update you on the FishingMad website once we know a little bit more. So when I think of Penn reels, I think of saltwater reels that are built strong and durable and reliable, but at a competitive price point that most people can go out and catch some pretty decent fish with. And I think the Slammer 4 fits that bill perfectly. Now it is COVID restrictions, and we were really hoping originally to get out on the water and do some on-water tests, tangling with some snapper and kingfish and gummies, but due to restrictions we haven't been able to do that. The good news is the restrictions are easing, so it will only be a matter of time before we get this out on the water and really put it through its pace to see it does stand up to the test of time, and whether we really notice those improvements when we're out on the water tangling with some decent sized fish. So do make sure that you follow the channel, because we will cover that in detail very shortly. But from what we can see with this unboxing and some tests that we've done here, it really looks like Penn has taken a lot of the good features out of the Slammer 3 and incorporated that into the Slammer 4 and brought in some really welcome changes, whether it's the change of rotor, the change of the drag system, the new sizes, the high speed sizes, the waterproofing. I think there's a lot in there that's going to make this a really popular reel choice. It looks great, it feels pretty good. We just need to get it out in the water and really put it through its paces. And as I said, we will share that with you as soon as we possibly can. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And until next time, good fishing, everyone.